right. Welcome everyone to today's podcast. My name is Ines. I'm here with my colleague Namrata, and we are both part of the Global Strategic Insights team at NIQ GfK. And what we are doing is we are looking into global trends which are shaping today's and tomorrow's global tech and durables world, let's say it like that. And let me jump right into the podcast of today. So, what is the goal of this episode? What is the goal of this series in general? We want to have a look into case studies, into benefits of AI for the retailers. So, of course, there's a lot of discussion around that, a lot of articles, information you can find about AI in general. But there's not too much to see, I would say, about how AI is really implemented, is really used by retailers today. And that's something we would like to change. We would like to have an overview of AI in general. And then we have also invited an external interview partner, and she's going to share with us what they are doing as AI activities, let's say it like that, uh, in their retail world today. And so we start giving the fundamentals, talking about AI in general. So not only generative AI like ChatGPT, but we're really talking about all kinds, machine learning, computer vision, language processing, whatever there is. So we take AI as the buzzword and we try to drill it down into the retail landscape, look into usage scenarios and benefits we can see which are already existing for retailers today. But of course, we know that AI is not a new topic for
Mm.
retailers, is it?
No, I mean, it's been around for at least 10 years, I think. Think about all
Yeah.
the software we use on a day-to-day basis, the background, blurring the backgrounds of our Teams or Zoom calls, the navigation that helps us reroute during traffic, or most importantly, the chatbots that we have seen that interact and are quickly becoming, let's say, the primary point of contact for many consumers with retailers. And all of these are great examples of artificial intelligence that we have been, let's say, experiencing over the years. What has changed is actually, let's say, Gen AI or ChatGPT really is representing, in a way, a breakthrough between breakthrough in interaction between human and computers. Now, AI is becoming more of a partner or a co-pilot to us, to consumers, to retailers, or even manufacturers. And this AI driven retail of future will actually enable retailers to provide, let's say, a seamless or a frictionless consumer experience or shopping experience, which is extremely important, that will help also deliver convenience and efficiency for consumers. There are, of course, many benefits that what I have already mentioned.
Obviously, they are. And let me jump in here with the benefits, right? I would like to
Mm,
talk about the benefits, especially for consumers. You touched upon it a little bit already.
yeah.
So, number one benefit could really be those better personalized experiences for customers. So, think about going to a big retailer website, looking for products, and in the past, and I'm making a
Mm,
joke out of it, right? You were looking for something and then you got the recommendation that others are looking into this book or that book, and it could
yeah.
have been good, or it could have been that you see that in like no, not
No.
really. So of course with AI this is going to improve so that the recommendation you are going to get are really fitting into what you have been interested in or are looking for, and this is of course a great benefit for consumers when they are in those websites and maybe completely lost. And completely lost brings me to the product discovery or purchase journey. Think about looking for a specific product and you're just not finding it. You're scrolling down and
Mm,
down and down. You're looking at so many products, but it's just not what you're looking for. And if AI is working in a good way, then it could help you say, hey, in the past you were interested in sustainable options, or you were interested in, I don't know, a specific color,
yeah.
specific design. And this could be something for you. So, product discovery. Um, I've seen a great example for virtual try on solutions from
Mm,
Sephora. So now you might be confused saying, huh, virtual try on might be more AR,
yeah.
not AI, AR, but it's having an AI component as well. So you're not just trying it on and see how it looks like in the real world, but you could also get recommendations. So Sephora is a cosmetics retailer actually, and they say that they give you recommendations for what kind of products you should buy depending on your hair color, your eye color, your skin, whatever. And then you know what kind of, let's say, lipstick would be good for you. And if you think
Mm,
back how many lipsticks we have bought and never used, so this is also a great benefit. And finally, you talked about chatbots already, right? Chatbots is, I would say, reality, so many retailers offer good and great chatbot functions. And this is also great for customers because don't know, but I hate those when you have to call them up, those call
Yeah.
centers, and you have to wait forever. And if you now have a good chatbot and you can just enter the question and you get the answer immediately, and it doesn't matter what day it is, what time it
Mm.
is, you just get whatever you're looking for. This is great, and this is also a good amount of time you're saving because you do not have to wait too long for those answers.
And also the
Um,
retailers are saving, right? Because they are like
yes,
this, they are offering this always on sort of customer support.
absolutely. And they don't have to have someone sitting
Mm.
and answering those phone calls, right?
Yeah.
But maybe we can wait for the retailers a little bit and think about the manufacturers
Yeah.
because they are also profiting. Because I talked about those personalized experiences, purchase journey, and so on. And to do that, you need to have good consumer insights, customer insights, and they are then in the end also benefiting for manufacturers because they know who's buying or who might be interested. What are they looking
Mm.
for? Or why did they stop buying? Why did they? What was wrong with it? And this could be something to be used for product development. Let's say when they have better and more consumer insights because of those AI solutions. And then finally, think back on those supply chain issues we had.
Yeah.
So we had COVID-19, and so a lot of demand for tech and durables products, and then at the same time we had supply chain issues because the products were not coming into Europe. And then
Mm.
the products were here, but the demand has dropped, and then the warehouses were full. And so there was a huge demand for forecasting. And of course, forecasting is also something which could benefit from AI and machine learning, especially to improve the forecasting scenarios we have in place. And this is something where retailers also jump in, I would assume.
Exactly. I completely agree with you. I mean, think about the retail revolution study we did last year,
Yeah.
right? You remember that.
Yeah.
So I think it was quite surprising also for us to see that, because it was a global study, there were about 800 retail participants, and about 61% of them saying that, hey, we are going to invest in AI and machine learning. And that's interesting because the top two benefits that they are seeing to be able to do that, because this is not going to be a minor investment, right? This is, they have
Yeah.
to look at different aspects and really invest quite a lot in that. But the benefit for them really is forecasting demand accurately.
Yeah.
And that shows how impactful the last 2 to 3 supply chain issues, like you mentioned, have been for both retailers and manufacturers. Also, from consumers' perspective, right? You mentioned already the product discovery. This is also another benefit that retailers see, that if they invest in AI and machine learning, they will be able to help or enable consumers to discover products in their stores, on their platforms, or even enable them to do, let's say, a better personalized consumer journey on their in their stores or on their platforms.
And recommendations as well, I would guess, because if the
Exactly. Yes.
recommendation works, you will buy. If it
It's a
doesn't
loop.
work, you will not
Yeah.
buy. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and so I saw this big number. So there was an
Hmm.
estimation by the World Economic Forum, and they said that AI in retail, so really in retail only, will have a market size of $31 billion in 2028. So in less than 5 years, right? So in four
Hmm.
years. More than 31. And just to give you a comparison how big this number is, I actually used AI. I asked a generative AI, please compare $31 billion with the GDP of a country and give me the country which is closest. It did not
Hmm.
work out. So
Ah.
wrong results. But anyway, I did it myself. So I did the research, and 31 billion is roughly the GDP of Honduras.
Hmm.
So country, quite a big one, right? And
Yeah.
so it's not a small market; it's really huge. And of course, AI is not only in those examples we've talked about, which you can really see and feel as a consumer. AI is also going to be very interesting for retailers in processes they have in the organization. Right? Think about product
Yes.
management because we talked about that. If you have AI, it could support you in product management. It could support you with sustainability. If you have better forecasts in place, maybe you will have not those surplus products, which will then have to be thrown away or whatever is going to
Or
happen
put
to
up on
them.
promotions to clear
Yeah, on
stocks.
promotions. Yes, absolutely. And so, yeah, AI is going to be a topic which is affecting the whole organization. And therefore, those 31 billion is really a very interesting size. And of course, now we talked about all this AI in general
Mm,
and how this could be and how this could shape up. And in the beginning, we promised you that we would talk examples, right? We would talk
mm,
examples, what's done today. And before we have the interview with our external partner next time, we would also like to share a couple of examples we found very interesting, right? And so I just start. I'm in a flow now, and let me start with a positive example. The first one would be Chibo. Just in case you don't know them, they are a German retailer. They started focusing on selling coffee, but now they are also doing a new assortment every week, let's say. So they have one week they have baby clothing, and the next week they have furniture, and then they have something for your house,
mm.
for decoration, something like that. So it is difficult to manage this kind of assortment. And so this is why they are doing forecasting. They use AI to optimize that forecasting. And they have said in an article I have read that they are doing 6 million forecasts
Wow.
every day. 6 million every day predictions a day. And that's quite a huge number, I found. And the other example I would like to touch is Sephora. I mentioned them already,
Mm,
and I said how they are doing the AR function and combine it with AI. And they are going one step further. So they have a store of the future, which is in Shanghai, in China. So not something we can try out yet. But what they say is they have, for example, a tool in there which can analyze your skin. And then you know what you should look for, what kind of products you should use. And this is what you can buy in the end. And again, it's in China, so not in Europe yet, not for us yet, but hopefully it will come.
hopefully
And
soon.
I'm
Hopefully
looking,
soon. All
yeah,
of us are looking forward to it.
I am for trying that one out. That sounds amazing.
Quite interesting examples. The one that I really would like to bring to the table is the Walmart's store assistant.
Yeah,
And, we spoke about chatbots some time back and how these AI developments will enable retailers to deliver omni-channel shopping. And what this assistant does, it's an app on consumers' mobile phones, and it helps consumers to really sort of assemble or create these smart shopping lists while they are at home. So before even entering the store, the consumer can just keep adding items to their lists, see if that particular product is in stock or not at their local Walmart store, and eventually know really how much amount will they end up paying, including the sales tax. And this is quite interesting because they will be able to do a better planning, I would say, especially given the cost of living crisis. I mean, globally, if you see, that has been one topic. And this store assistant then enables the consumers to stay at home, decide what budget they have, plan
yeah,
their shopping lists, and the moment they enter the store, then this app actually automatically switches into a store assistant mode, so giving them additional features like Walmart Pay, a product search bar, checking the consumer reviews, or even a barcode scanner, and even tells them where they can find that particular product
mm,
in the store. And
yeah,
that's
which
quite
is a big one.
interesting. This
Yeah,
is like
useful.
merging two worlds, where the shopping has really started in their homes digitally, and then they are coming into the stores. And that's a true example of omni-channel shopping. We keep
Yeah,
talking about omni-channel as the future, but what role is AI going to play into that? This is an excellent example, and I think there's a lot to learn from that. At the same time, we are
yeah,
seeing these multiple use cases of, let's say, cashless stores. And we know that AI will help retailers to transform the shopping experience. So the cashless stores, for example, they use multiple or a combination of, computer vision, sensors, AI algorithms, so that the consumers don't have to really go through the traditional checkout processes. So
hmm,
there, the stores will use cameras, sensors to track what the consumers are doing in the stores, ensure that the consumers are paying, and so on. And then at some point, you have to kind of start wondering how much of that is real, how much of that is it truly possible in the real
hmm,
world. What about the risks that the retailer is taking? And there was so much buzz of this technology. We all felt that, okay, retail has taken a step forward. We are now seeing the store of the future. And then a couple of months later, you read this article and you think, okay, so this was not real. This was all the buzz because it
Oh,
was not technology. It was actually people sitting somewhere really monitoring the consumers in the stores and ensuring that these purchases are authentic, are or are being paid for. So at some point you have to start thinking that where do I really draw the line? How much of this is noise? Because every single company, no matter who you are, is actually trying to capitalize on the AI buzzword, right? So how do you separate that? How do you get the, okay, this is real, this is really AI technology being used, and this is just for the sake of saying, oh, we are using AI everywhere, in our services, in our products, everywhere.
yeah, I completely agree. And what we've also seen is a couple of examples where AI might be a great solution, but maybe
Yep.
we're not there yet, right? So
Mm,
of course everything has just started. So maybe it will be different in 6 months or a year, and maybe we will just laugh about those examples we are
mm,
talking about today. But I would like to share a funny one as well. So I found an online kitchen planner which you can use, and it also has an AI function in it. And it
mm.
promises you can just upload the photo, and then it will suggest you how the kitchen could look like. And I have to say, I used the free version. Yeah, to be
Okay.
fair, I did not pay for it. And so I did that. I uploaded the photo, and then you can choose what kind of style, and the kitchen you get out looks good, right?
Hmm.
So you're like, oh yeah, yeah, I could
Very
imagine that.
nice.
And very nice. And then you start looking into the details, and you see that this wonderful new kitchen you got there has 3 kitchen sinks. And I'm like, hey, I don't know yet why I would need 3 of them. I keep research. I keep doing research, right? Maybe I will find out one day. But this is one of those examples, right? It sounds amazing. Free kitchen planner. Yeah. Think about how expensive that is usually is. But as I said in the beginning, we are not there yet.
Hmm.
So maybe we meet again in 6 months, and I can tell you what you do with 3 sinks, and maybe also the technology will have improved.
Either one should work. Either you come up with use cases for 3 kitchen sinks in the kitchen,
I feel the pressure.
or the company or this app gets better. But this is quite an interesting example, right? Because you mentioned kitchen, and
Yeah.
I remembered this blog that I read. It was very interesting because they were comparing the 4 parts of machine learning process, like gathering data, feeding it into an algorithm, validating the model, and then serving it really to using it really to have these predictions. And that was compared, these 4 parts was compared with 4 parts of kitchen. So ingredients,
Mm.
appliances, recipes, and dishes. But machine learning, let's say appliances, are a lot smarter than the average oven that we would find in our kitchen because they don't just heat food, they learn how to prepare these recipes.
Mhm.
And this is mostly relevant because retailers of today need to take a step back and they have to evaluate and they have to understand, as an organization, what do they want to achieve, what their goal is. It cannot be just because everyone else is talking about AI, they have to get on that bandwagon and invest. They need to know what they want to achieve. They need to know what they will be able to, let's say, from an growth perspective, will achieve, or from a consumer experience, achieve. So, for example, and why I say that, right? Because if you think about, let me give you this example. If you think about the ingredients, in our case, that would be the data. The
Mhm.
first step really for retailer to understand, do they have good quality data? Because if they
Yeah.
don't have good quality data, or let's use the kitchen analogy, right? If you don't have fresh or good quality ingredients, no matter how great your recipe is, it is
Mhm.
not, the final dish is not going to turn out that great. So evaluating and setting up real expectations for yourself as an organization is equally important. And you already mentioned that this is what we want to really include in our next podcast, where
Yeah.
our external speaker from a leading retailer in Nordics, Elkjob, which is part of Currys Group, will speak about a real use case, how they are using AI to redefine consumer experiences, at the same time achieve growth as an organization. So please stay tuned for our next episode. And thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.
Bye bye.